Hi guys, I want to do a walk around review of my latest acquisition, my new work car, a 2002 Buick Park Avenue, a bingo cruiser if ever there was one. A little bit bigger than what I was shooting for, but I don't know if you've tried the used car market lately. The small high miles, I mean moderately high miles, you know, fuel efficient cars are impossible to come by. They're either 300,000 miles and smell like a urine soaked ashtray, or they're low miles and expensive. So anyway, picked this up for a pretty good price. Here's one quirk. For one reason or another, on one side it says Avenue Park. If you know why, tell me in the comments. Got your locking gas cap here. Let's go up to the front. Alright. It's your typical land yacht of the early 2000s, I guess. You got your real wood accents here. Standard controls. You've got power mirrors, and you have a deal where you can save settings for whatever driver, like the seat positions or whatever, what have you. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but speaker here, speaker there. The radio in this thing, nobody ever told me Grandpa rocked out, but I'd play it for you. But of course my video would get a copyright strike. The radio is incredible in this thing. Of course it's older. It's got CD and a tape deck. The CD's cool because I still use them. You've got a climate control here that's a little bit confusing at first. But once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Let me get my keys out. This is how prepared I am. Alright. Got your standard idiot lights. Oh, whoops. Hope I caught that in time. Pretty standard gauge cluster. Now over here it has a lot of buttons. And let's see if I can get the window. Watch that window there. See, you have those. Well, not there. We go. Shows your fuel economy average. I don't. Who knows how accurate that is? I've done a lot of highway trips, so that could be okay. Trip meter. Gauge info. It's your battery. I find this to be interesting. You know, it's got different stuff. And now when I got this, the tire pressure sensors were still okay. I was surprised at that, actually. There's no low tires. It's just bad sensor probably, which is very common. Oil pressure, coolant temperature. Okay, and this one's funny. I didn't know this existed, but you can turn this thing to the metric system. If you'll watch that, it goes from, and I was going down the road doing 30 and it read 90 or something. Gave me a right start. Got a strange little tray here. Hold your cigar cutter maybe. You can control the volume of the radio and seek and whatnot from the steering wheel. Got a boat-like horn, which is appropriate. Heated seats. Got a really 80s looking ashtray, complete with a little ash in it. That was the only downside, is this had a sort of smoky smell. Not terrible, but a little bit. Leather seats. Rich Corinthian leather, only in Cordoba. Passenger climate settings. Over here you got this Twilight Sentinel. Yeah, I might have this wrong. I think it's to determine how long your headlights and stuff stay on before they shut off on their own. A charmingly old school headlight, pull-out headlights, which I like. I don't know why they ever went away from that. Simple, reliable. Down here you've got your standard awkwardly placed hood release. Got your trunk button, the annoying locking fuel cap, a variety of settings. You can raise and lower the seats, and there's even this lumbar support thing that feels like you're getting kicked in the kidneys. Nice console here, standard change thing, and this can actually fold back in there, but of course it's always out. And curious, after I brought this home, I found this green leafy matter in here. Could be parsley, but I kind of doubt it. There's crazy back seats. I mean, you could live in this thing. Got a pouch here and a pouch over there. And look at the hinges on these doors. The doors are tank-like in this thing. Let me get in here. And just acres of room. Got your vents back here. And look at this. I could probably double my money if I sold this in Colorado. But look at this. You've got your own little ashtray deal and your own cigarette lighter. You can put the cigarette lighter back here if you want. Now it's an accessory port. But what do you think? How about that? And we have this fold down thing here. And we have this weird door that goes back to the trunk. I guess that's so you can feed the woman you're keeping captive in there or something. Nice little armrest and cup holders. Once again, rich leather. Leave some speakers under here. Here's a child seat anchor system of some sort, I think. Looks like a light here. Yep. How nice is that? Okay. Let's pop the trunk. There's also a button for this on the remote, so you can impress your friends, I guess. The trunk, I think you could sublet the trunk and rent it out. It's huge. I mean, it's just enormous. Some leftovers from the last guy, this umbrella. And about the last guy, he was a World War II vet. Real good guy by all accounts. And it sounded like that story they tell you to sell you a car. You know, he drove this around just a little bit. He was old, 90 years old, you know, etc. But look at this glove compartment. The story was revealed to be true. In here I found his ID, which I gave back. Had his American Legion card, such as that, tissues, hearing aid battery. I mean, these are details your average shyster wouldn't think of. There's your expansive guide. A couple of playing cards for some reason. And look at this, touching. He had flags that he put out on the veterans' graves, and these are going to a guy who does that. I'm going to make sure that Mr. Leroy, that was his name, I'm going to make sure his flags finish their final mission. Got your standard little pockets. Got I guess an extendable sun visor there. Hello. Adjustable power level. OnStar stuff I won't use. And here's where you can program it to open the door to your garage. Not a lot of modern stuff as far as cell phones and whatnot, of course, because it didn't exist. This thing's about 20 years old. But you do have a cigarette port here that'll work for your charger, which is about all I need. And I got my car knife, because you do have a car knife, right? That's what I thought. What, you live somewhere where that's illegal? Well, that's crazy, man. Move. Let's see. All right. Heavy hood. The hood's nice enough to hold itself up. Now this is a GM 3800 V6 engine, which is a pretty simple but very reliable engine. No superchargers, turbochargers, and that junk. Everything's easy to get to. Parts are easily available. Just real reliable engine from my understanding. Anyway, I don't know much about engines. Just research that engine if you want to know more. All right, let's take a drive. This thing's like driving a couch. It just fairly massages the bumps. Plenty of get up and go. Now it's no, hey, we're still doing kilometers. Yeah, you got that hood ornament there. It looks like a big gun sight. Deer comes out, you can just head right for it. Just, really smooth driver. Like I said, the radio is just outstanding. I wish I could demonstrate it, but Grandpa liked his tunes, man. But yeah, it's you know, corner's fairly good for such a big thing. Turns fairly tight. And of course, I didn't say earlier, it does have cruise control right there, the standard 90s 2000 Chevy thing. Looks complicated, but it's not too bad. Say what we will, it's just a very, very nice ride. Sound like Commandant Lassard. Very, very nice ride. Yeah, it just shrugs off these bumps. Good old Indiana. Make fun of you want, but hey, everybody likes corn. Yeah. Pretty much what you'd expect for a land yacht. I just got to call the DNR and see if I have to get boat numbers in addition to regular registration. Cruising past the local airport, which they suddenly erected this Area 51 looking fence around and said it was for the deer. Hey, I don't know. I don't want to know. Got pretty good brakes, as you would expect. See this thing? There we go. There we go. Decent acceleration. Nothing special, of course, but then again, that's not what this is about. pretty quiet cabin. Once again, as you might expect in a big old luxury liner such as this.